Welcome back to the YouTube channel, where today we're going to discuss whether the Mark III RS is still worth it in 2025. But before we get into today's video, if you guys like cars, specifically RSs, and want to see the journey, do me a massive favor, hit the subscribe button. It's free, it doesn't cost, and it helps me out more than you can think. So you're in the market for a used car and you need something that's practical, usable, and isn't crazy expensive. In today's day and age, not many cars fall into that bracket, but the RS does. And there's a few other cars that also fall into that bracket. And in comparison, for the used car market, that includes the A45, the RS3, and even the BMW 140i. And let's not forget the Golf R, because it seems everyone has one of them in this day and age. Now, I'm not here to review the cars I've just mentioned. I'm here to let you know if this car is still worth buying. But for a bit of context, prior to this, I had an A45 and a Fiesta ST. A lot of people are going to pick up that an RS is a natural progression from a Fiesta ST in a lot of people's worlds, but I did actually have the A45 after that and then transitioned into the RS. So the reason I upgraded to an RS, or downgraded, a lot of people have said, from an A45 to an RS is the maintenance costs. Now, lucky enough, I didn't have to pay no maintenance costs on the A45, but as you can imagine, they're extortionate in comparison to a Ford. Even though it's an RS, it's top of the range, the badge there still says Ford. So in comparison, the A45 for an A or B service, you're looking around the 300 mark, I believe, or £1,500 for the full service. Whereas on this car, well, $299 at FJRS. Ford are also the exact same price, but as you can see, the bottom line is that this car is hell of a lot cheaper. Now, I appreciate AMG tax is going to be with any AMG, but at the end of the day, there's service in the car and then there's just being absolutely ripped off. Money wasn't the issue for me, but at the end of the day, when you're paying nearly £2,000 for a service, it gets a little bit frustrating when you can get one of the best hot hatches on the road with relatively low servicing costs, and that moves me on to my next point of running costs. To fill an RS up, you'll probably be looking around the £65 to £67 mark from almost empty. Now, on that, you're probably averaging between 20 to 25 miles per gallon. You shouldn't really be dipping below unless you have a really poor map on the car, because they're relatively economical anyways. And Ford state these figures right here. So as you can see, real life world, not miles off. But you're gonna average around 20 to 25, and on a full tank, you're probably seeing just over 220 miles. And in real world drivability, that's quite a lot. You can daily this car to the shops, you can take the kids to school, or you could take it on track on a weekend if you really wanted to. Now, at the start of the video, I mentioned practicality. And as you can see, the main thing that stands out with the RS with practicality is that this has 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 doors. It's a 5-door hatchback. And coming to sit in the back, well, there's plenty of room for 3 people and enough leg room for someone 6 foot plus. Now, I'm 5'8", and as you can see, I have tons of leg room. And this seat is in my natural driving position. You can see, for comparison, it's in line with a back A-pillar. And as you can see, this seat is basically all the way back. And even there, I would still fit. And whilst the kids are in the back, if you guys head round to the front, as you can see, this car also has Recaro bucket seats. Now, if I spin the camera around, you guys will see that these are the same seats out of the Mark II RS. They're on slider rails. Of course, they're not electric, it's a Ford. But being an optional extra, these seats are really comfortable for not so long journeys. Now, I'm on the slimmer side, but I've been told if you're on the chunkier side, they get really uncomfortable. They grip you quite a lot. But with the Ford, you can option for the comfort seats. So in terms of practicality, once again, it's not an issue. Heading back to the outside, I suppose I should tell you guys how this car actually drives. Is it practical enough? Well, to keep it short and simple, it's just about a yes. So this car is 4-wheel drive, and in the modern day, people like to do U-turns in the road. This car basically does not have a turning circle, which isn't a problem. But if you do want to quickly perform a U-turn, you're not doing that. And as you can hear, it's just turned off because it's been idling a while. And on top of it having no turning circle, it's also relatively harsh for the way it drives. it's very, very stiff. So pairing these bucket seats with a turning circle of one of the worst things I've ever witnessed, is it as good as something else that's on the market? In that aspect, probably not. But is it as comfortable as some of the other cars as well? Probably not. But it's definitely bearable, and it ain't to the point where this car's breaking your back in every turn, every corner, and every straight line. It's not as bad as how I'm making it out to be. But at the expense of being somewhat uncomfortable, this car drives like it is absolutely on rails. I've never driven anything as responsive, as fun, and as engaging as this RS. This RS grips in any condition. Paired with a Pilot Sports that even comes out of the factory, it's an absolute animal. And that makes it even more enjoyable, because when you're behind a steering wheel, you have the confidence that this car is going to turn any average driver into something special. If you look at any other reviews, they're going to say near enough exactly the same as what I'm about to say. This car is special. And being one of the last RSs, if not maybe perhaps the last RS that's ever going to grace the UK market or worldwide, this car is very good. So is it worth buying an RS in 2025? At the expense of a little bit of comfort with optional extra seats, with stiff suspension? I'm still going to say yes, because there's not many cars that come with one of these. And that is a gear stick. With the way the world's moving and the times are changing, manuals are going to be phased out very soon. If you look at Mercedes, automatic. If you look at RS3s, automatic. Even Renault Meganes, automatic now. And even the Fiesta Focus STs are moving automatic. So to have an RS with one of them in, it will never get better than that. So did I make the right decision in buying an RS after an A45? I'm gonna say yes. And would I encourage you guys to do it too? I would also say yes. To be able to pick up a hot hatch like this in the market between 20 to 30K, even though I paid more than that for mine, it's a great bargain. The market is vast for modifications. They look great. You get a lot of people ask questions on these because they're relatively rare, and these are also going to go down in history. The last RS to be manufactured, and a lot of these will be written off by people that think they're a race car driver and take it too far. Although this makes you special, of course it can't save everyone. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you read between the lines, yes, it's still worth it. And if you're thinking of getting one, do it. You won't be disappointed. Now, I'm still getting used to this long form content, but if you're new around here, as I requested at the start of the video, make sure you hit the subscribe button and even check out my other platforms. We've got TikTok, Instagram, and we also have the YouTube, which we're already on. But make sure you drop me a follow on them other platforms, because as you can see, we're expanding to YouTube, but over there we post daily, and you don't want to be sure to miss any videos that come out. But that rounds up today's video. Let me know down below, are you guys still going to think of buying an RS after watching today's clips? Or are you going to stay well clear and head over to the automatic side? A45, RS3, 140? But that's all I've got for you today. So if you did enjoy today's video, please, please, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, comment down below your thoughts and opinions. But most importantly, until the next one, drive safe.